Okay, so you're thinking about jumping into data science or machine learning. It's a huge field, right? You've seen all the hype, you've seen the job postings, and now you're probably feeling a little bit stuck, like you're in this maze of endless options. So the big question is, which path is the right one for you? Well, let's cut through all that confusion together and figure out a real roadmap.
It really feels like it all started with this one line. Remember this? A decade or so ago, Harvard Business Review drops this absolute bombshell of a headline. And just like that, the gold rush was on. It was the perfect way to capture all the excitement around this brand new field that honestly promised to change pretty much everything.
And look, this isn't just talk. The demand is absolutely real, and it's picking up speed. That number you see, 26%, that's the projected job growth in this field all the way through 2033. I mean, think about that. The opportunities aren't just sitting there waiting for you. They're literally exploding.
Right, so we have the hype, but then there's the haze. All this excitement brings a ton of confusion with it. You hear data science and machine learning thrown around all the time, sometimes like they're the exact same thing, but they're not. So what is the actual difference? Let's clear that up.
Okay, let's start with data science. The best way to think about it is like it's the whole universe of working with data. It's this really broad field that pulls from a bunch of different disciplines, but it's all focused on one big goal: finding insights you can actually do something with. It's really about being a detective, asking the right questions and then digging through the data to find the hidden answers.
Now, if data science is the whole universe, machine learning is like a powerful, super specialized galaxy inside it. It's way more specific. It's a part of AI that's all about building these clever algorithms that can learn from data on their own. The goal? To make predictions without you having to hand code every single rule for every possible scenario.
So let's put it all together. Here's the most important thing to remember. Think of a data scientist as a master craftsperson with a huge toolkit. And machine learning, that's one of the most powerful, most sophisticated tools in that entire kit. Data science is the whole project, from start to finish. Machine learning is a critical step you take along the way.
Okay, so now you get the difference. You're fired up, you're ready to start learning, and then, bam, you hit this giant wall of endless educational options. Which course, which certificate, which degree? It's a lot.
Seriously, where do you even begin? The number of choices out there is it's paralyzing. You've got Ivy League universities on one hand, weekend boot camps on the other, and literally everything in between. And of course, every single one of them claims to be the golden ticket to your new career.
I mean, just look at this landscape. You have the traditional university route with big names like Harvard and MIT. Then you've got these huge online specializations from places like Coursera, professional certificates from giants like IBM and Google, not to mention all the boot camps and learning platforms. Every single path has a totally different mix of theory, hands-on practice, time commitment, and cost. It's no wonder it feels endless.
Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question. With all these online options floating around, are the certificates you get actually worth anything? Like for real? Do hiring managers look at that and go, wow, or do they just not care?
And you don't have to look far to find some pretty strong opinions. There's a lot of skepticism. This right here, this is a real quote from a real online discussion, and it captures that feeling perfectly. A lot of people out there are saying, hey, don't waste your money. That piece of paper won't get you a job.
So, how do we deal with that? How do you cut through all that noise and make a choice that's actually smart for you? You need a strategy, a framework. And this isn't just about picking one course, it's about building your future.
All right, here it is. A simple, 4-step framework to help you stop just randomly searching and start making a real strategic choice. Step 1, do a gap check. Just list out the skills you need for the job you want, and then circle the ones you're missing. Simple. Step 2, pick your level. Are you a total beginner who needs a step-by-step path, or are you an expert who just needs to go deep on one topic? Step 3, be real about your schedule. Do you have months for a big specialization, or do you need a quick, intense boot camp? And finally, step 4, and this one is so important, tie the final project to the job you want. Make sure it's relevant to the industry you're trying to get into so you have something real to show off.
Okay, let's actually put that framework to work. Because the best path for you depends completely on what your goal is. Are you a career changer trying to break into the field from scratch? Or are you an upskiller who's just trying to add a new tool to your belt?
These two people have totally different needs, right? The career changer, they need that recognized credential. They need to go deep. And most importantly, they need a killer portfolio piece. The upskiller, they just need to fill one specific skill gap. They need to learn a new tool, get a quick refresher, and they probably need to do it like yesterday.
So if you're the career changer, listen up. Brand names can really matter for you. Getting a multi-course specialization from a trusted place like Stanford or IBM, that signals commitment. But remember, the goal isn't the piece of paper. It's the big final project. Building something real, like a movie recommendation system from the ground up. That's the kind of thing you put in a portfolio that shows you have the skills from start to finish.
Now, if you're the upkiller, your game plan is totally different. It's all about speed and focus. You don't need a 9-month program just to learn about LLMs. You need a targeted, intensive course, maybe a boot camp from MIT, or even a great free resource like Google's Crash Course. Something practical and code-heavy like Fast.ai is perfect. It gives you the exact skill you need right now.
And this really brings us all the way back to that skeptical quote from earlier. And you know what? The critics are kind of right. It's not about the certificate. The piece of paper itself isn't the prize. The whole point is to build something tangible, to create proof. You want to walk into an interview and show a hiring manager what you can do, not just promise them.
And this is exactly what that proof looks like in the real world. Something just like this. This isn't just a pretty chart. This is a slide in your portfolio that says, hey, I didn't just build one model. I built several. I tested them against each other, and I can tell you exactly why this one is better. That right there, that's not a promise. That's cold, hard evidence. This is the kind of stuff that gets you hired.
All right, so you've picked your path, you've built an awesome portfolio. You're done, right? Not so fast. The learning never really stops in this field. It's moving at lightning speed, and the skills you need are changing right along with it.
And the biggest game changer right now is without a doubt the rise of large language models. I'm talking about tools like ChatGPT. They're completely shaking up the day-to-day work. All that tedious stuff, data cleaning, building basic models, even writing up reports, a lot of that can now be automated. This is freeing up data scientists from a ton of the low-level grunt work.
And that leads to this really powerful shift in how you need to think about your own role. In the future, your biggest value isn't going to be your ability to write flawless code. An AI can do that. Your value will come from strategic thinking, from asking the smart questions, managing the whole project, and making sense of the results. It's a massive shift from being a hands-on builder to being the project's architect.
So that really leaves us with one last big question for you to think about. As you're looking at all these courses and trying to navigate that maze we talked about, just ask yourself this. Are you training for the job that exists right now, today? Or are you building the skills, the critical thinking, the strategic mindset that will make you valuable for the career of tomorrow? Something to think about.